Alright, I just figured I'd make this real quick. So, with this whole Trump and Kamala stuff that's going on, Trump had won. Um, I'm just here to basically tell you what is to come when it comes to this. There's been a lot going on, all at once. So, first, starting with the presidential stuff, there's a lot of people that is, crying, boo-hooing, saying about how they lost their rights and stuff like that when it comes to like abortion and stuff like that. So obviously we know that they are evil. There's no doubt about that. And there's people that is saying, that, the woke will be abolished and stuff like that because Trump's in there. Look, man, it's all staged and scripted, the entire thing. Do not fall for it. When somebody is saying, we all know the truth. If we follow Yeshua HaMashiach, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and believe that Yahweh is our creator and that Yeshua was the Son. When we know that they are evil, when they are saying these things about their rights and they start talking about abortions, even if you hear it out and open amongst yourselves, right now, at the time, currently right now, we are buying time right now. There's no sense in arguing with them. There's no sense in getting involved and all that stuff, because they already know, they've heard it. There's no way, especially if they are involved with the media at all or watching anything, or they have social media, there's no way that they have not heard about Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, or even about the truth at all. There's no way that they have not. They have been warned clearly and obviously, especially the technology that they have. They had to have seen it or had to have heard it at least from somebody at least one time. Don't get involved because that's just going to suck you right into it. What you need to do is stock up on supplies. Get as much as you possibly can. What the elites are doing right now is they're creating division right now, and they're currently in the background getting ready to kick all this off right now. When this all gets kicked off is whenever Trump is going to be assassinated. What we need to be doing is not be focusing on the conflict that's currently going on right now. What we need to do is also be in the background like the elites, and we need to be getting supplies. While everybody's wasting resources upon each other, whether it's this clash of, political, paradigm or a civil war, we need to be in the background getting as much supplies as we possibly can before this all gets kicked off. Now, what's going to happen in my prediction is I have already said that Trump was going to win. I already said that he was. So, what's going to happen is I'm just going to start from the beginning from my very prediction and what's going to happen. And basically it ties into what's going to happen now. So, Trump was going to win the election. Then this is going to cause civil unrest among the leftist or Democrat or whatever you want to call it. They're all two wings of the same bird. But it's going to cause division. It's going to cause political unrest, where the Democratic Party is going to be going absolutely chaos. The Republicans are going to try to defend this, and it's going to be George Floyd on steroids. Now you're going to have racial tension going on all over again. You're going to have brutality stuff all over again. You're going to have, you haven't heard of Antifa in quite some time. Now all of a sudden Antifa is going to come out of the woodworks and begin all this again. School shootings is going to turn into a big thing all over again. You haven't heard that in a long time. And at the same time they're doing all this, weather modification and everything else is going to be implemented. Now, this is already going on. So then what's going to happen is probably more likely World War is going to happen, and the conspiracy that the government is going to create, the secondary rabbit hole is what I call it, to lead you away from the truth, is when the World War kicks off, they're going to say, Well, it's because of the Democrats, and it's because of Joe Biden didn't want to give up his position, and it basically turns into, if I can't have it, nobody can, or they make people believe that the swamp, the Democrats that's in the White House, is in control, and they decided to do World War III because they fear that the Republicans are going to win. But we all know that this is all bullshit. When this happens, Trump, either when he becomes president or right before he becomes president, to me it makes more sense if it's right before he becomes president because of this reason. Right before he becomes president, he's going to get assassinated, and it's staged also. It's a staged assassination, but he's going to get assassinated. And then at that point, the Republicans get all riled up and stirred up and fired up, and we clearly see that ahead of time. Whenever he supposedly got assassinated, you saw the pollution of the flags and everything going around where he was pumping his fist saying fight. So when he supposedly gets assassinated, Kamala's going to be in place because they're going to say it's right before election. We had no choice but to elect Kamala Harris. That is also why they were changing the Constitution to where basically they said that, you know, if something should happen to a candidate, that there shouldn't be a voting process or an election or anything like that. That they would just throw somebody that is selected into office to best fit the president role. This has been predictive programmed in movies, TV shows, and even in the I'm sure if you follow me, you probably follow Richie from Boston and A Call for an Uprising and those guys. But they came out with a movie, and it was called War Games, and that's what it was about. It was about if there was division amongst the politics, what they would do. And they had somebody, I might be wrong, but I didn't watch it, but I watched what they put into the videos, and that's what it was about. It was about if the government, the military, was to divide against itself, what would happen then. So yeah, they even predicted it in Civil War. The president gets killed. Music videos, also the one with Snoop Dogg. You've seen the videos where I posted. Knowledge is Power even has his videos. Possibly even an iPad Goat where it shows him, shows like the Antichrist figure with orange hair. It might be him. I'm not saying it is him. I have it narrowed down to 3 people who could possibly be the Antichrist, but we don't know. But listen, so what's going to happen is he gets assassinated before election, okay? And it's staged, it's scripted. Kamala goes in, and then that's the reason why they changed the Constitution, and that is also why they got rid of the Posse Comitatus Act, because when this all goes down, it gives the military the right to open fire and use all weaponry, drones, bombs, jets, helicopters, once again, predicted in the movie Civil War, against United States civilians, and that even includes Black Project weapons, like 5, alphabet, if you know what I'm saying, 5-7, as Monograph says. Once this happens and Kamala goes in, this is going to cause civil war. This is going to cause civil war, and in my personal opinion, in The Simpsons, where it shows Lisa saying we received a hell of a budget crunch from President Donald Trump, that's kind of what I thought. So your best bet right now is to not get involved with any of this. And you shouldn't be involved in this anyways. If you was truly awake in the truth, you shouldn't even be involved in this at all. But your best bet is to not get involved in this at all. While the snakes are going in the background trying to basically eat the bird's eggs in the nest, what we need to be doing is we need to be also in the background, and we need to get supplies as much as we possibly can, because when this kicks off, it's going to be bad. And I feel like they're going to pull everything all at once. I said they were going to. We already have weather destruction, weather modification. They're going to blame global warming. Civil War, World War III is possibly going to happen. And on top of all that, they're probably going to roll out COVID again, because they already said about it returning. Or, as Monograph says, the turd flu. So, yeah, so they're going to roll this all out. And Aliens, too. They're rolling out the aliens. We've seen the videos where it was Lil Uzi or whatever the hell his name is. Where they used the UFO. And when everybody has been seeing, strange anomalies in the sky. Even myself, I've seen a couple myself. But yeah, so the best bet is to get supplies and get ready. Another thing is where I'm currently living, I didn't even know that there was a drought in Pennsylvania. In my personal belief, do I believe there's a drought? Yeah, because a while ago, about a year ago, I'd say, I went down to the biggest lake that was around because I had to do a project where I had to get some lake rocks and stuff like that out from the bed of the lake. So when I did, when we all went down to help each other out with, this project, whenever we went down, we saw, and we grew up around this water, we saw it was down to the bones, man. And recently, I went somewhere with a friend, and we were just skipping rocks underneath a bridge, and we grew up around this bridge too. And underneath there, it was bone dry. We also went to go tubing, and it was bone dry, and it was canceled. We couldn't go tubing down the lake, or down the river. It was bone dry. And a fellow, whenever I was collecting some spring water not too long ago, a fellow came up to me and said, "Man, it's been dry lately." This is before the fire. He said, "Man, it's been dry lately." I said, "Yeah." And he says, "I hope I don't have to tap a well." He said, "Because it's pretty bad." I said, "Yeah." I said, it hasn't been raining or anything. And sure as shit, the wildfires happen. Now, what do I believe? I believe we're in a drought. I believe there's no water. But I don't think that's the start of fire. I think it's due technology. And with weather modification, here's my personal belief, using the ecosystem, when it goes from cold to hot, cold to hot, cold to hot, cold to hot, and spraying chemtrails in between, when it goes hot, from being cold, moisture rises up, which you get condensation. If you have something cold, and then it goes to hot, then it goes to cold again, condensation builds up. In my personal belief, that's how they're carrying the water away, and they're conjoining it somewhere, maybe even out of ocean, to feed a hurricane or something, and they're destroying places like North Colorado. And it's leaving all the other states dry, especially ones that have a lot of water, because that'd be the first place they'd be pulling from, and that is probably the East Coast. And it's been hot lately. So I have seen to where they have said, I guess quite some time ago, they said that the entire United States is under a drought. This is what I personally believe is going to happen. In my area, Pennsylvania, we have, I believe it's called Creek King. We have Creek King water, and we also have Deer Park water. Both of them are sourced water in Pennsylvania. That's just the bottled water and stuff like that. What's going to happen is they're going to say, due to the drought and the wildfires, that they cannot produce enough water. They're going to pull it off the shelves. And I recommend that you stock up on water. If you aren't prepared now when it comes to the food, you need to be prepared now when it comes to the food, because if the water goes, no crops, which is your food. And if there's no crops, there's no meat. This isn't just in Pennsylvania. This is nationwide. We are under a drought, apparently, nationwide. So, regardless if it's true or if it's fake, you know what they're going to do next. I recommend stocking up on natural medicine. Do your research on herbs and natural medication. Stock up on natural medicines, stock up on water, stock up on food, and stock up on defense. Because you can only live 3 days without water. And when there's no water, people get scarce. People can do all kinds of shit. People can work together, or people can work against each other. People could even try to take it over if you find a source of water. And yeah, so we've been wanting to make videos. We've all been wanting to make videos, but we just cannot do it because we're trying to train, we're trying to prepare, and we're trying to make videos at the same time. By the time we're done training, by the time we're done preparing, we have barely any time to make a video, so we slowly have to creep into making a video. And it's virtually impossible because there's so much that keeps happening constantly, all the time. And there's no way for us to make a video unless things calm down. But when it gets busy, we can make videos. But when it gets hectic, and it's never been this hectic before, when it gets this hectic, we don't have a choice but to speak and to make into a video. So we ain't going to be able to make a video for quite some time unless things even calm down just a little bit, then we probably would be able to. So I apologize for this. Sorry for the last notice. I could have been able to, upload some images or something like that on here. But everything's just ramping up so quickly, we don't have enough time to make videos, even present the evidence, really. And that's about it, because we're trying to prepare and train. That's most important. Especially whenever they removed the Apostate Comitatus Act. That pretty much did it for us, because now they're waging war. A war has always been waged on us since way back in probably 1700s. But this is literally official, where they are literally saying that it's wartime because they're getting ready to open fire on civilians. So yeah, it's no joke, it's no game, and it's definitely time to be ready. And that's exactly what we're doing. So yeah, I just figured I'd give you guys a shout out what is to come and what you should do. So God bless. I pray that every single one of yous will be okay. I pray for your family. I pray that we all pull through this. Obviously, we're not going to. But I pray that we can all see each other in heaven. And we can reside in heaven. Yeah, I pray that everybody's okay. And everybody will be okay. And I hope and I pray that everybody will be ready. Now's the chance. Now's the time. If you can't do something like preparing or something like that, substitute it. Substitute it. There is ways to substitute it. That's why I made the playlists that I did when it comes to the tactical and the survival and all that stuff. So, just as an example, if you need a fire starter but you don't have enough money to even make a fire starter, you go to a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree, get some Vaseline, get some straws, get some cotton balls, melt the end of a straw, soak your cotton ball in Vaseline, tuck it inside the straw, melt the other end, and there you go. You got a little capsule that's a fire starter that'll burn for freaking ever, Stuff like that. Get some Altoids, Don't waste the Altoids, but eat them, and then, keep the can and put them in there. So right there, you got a fire starting kit. Perfect. A little thing of matches, or even freaking a Bic lighter, But do as much as you possibly can, because man, it's coming. It's coming. This right now, this division that everybody's going through, and everybody bawling and crying and boo-hooing, don't get involved. You need to see it as a gigantic warning sign. So get ready. Much love.